We have a developing story out of New York, a viral video released from Project Veritas, which is a conservative watchdog group specializing in undercover hidden camera investigations, now placing another school administrator in hot water. The latest hidden camera video shows an administrator at a private school saying she does have a bias and pushes a political agenda in the classroom. This is the second video released by Project Veritas appearing to show anti-conservative educators in just about the past week. Rich McHugh is joining us live with a closer look at this footage. Rich.
Good morning, Adrienne. Another video, another school administrator in hot water. This time, it's a school administrator at Trinity's, the school in Manhattan, Trinity, on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. It has people fuming about how the video was obtained, but also about what was said in the video.
They work in a really fancy private school up on the Upper West Side.
An undercover video published last Thursday shows snippets of a conversation with an administrator of an elite private New York City school called Trinity. While it's unclear what led up to this conversation, you can hear the administrator talking about pushing her political views in the classroom.
I don't hide how I feel, but I can't pretend I'm promoting an agenda. Even though I clearly am.
The video, apparently taken without the woman's knowledge or consent, is the latest in a series by Project Veritas, the controversial group known for using hidden cameras and guerrilla filmmaking to support conservative issues. At one point in the video, the woman, Jennifer Norris, expresses her disdain for some students.
Unfortunately, it's the white boys who feel like very entitled to express their opposite opinions and just push back. Well, there's a huge contingent of them that are just like horrible.
White guy.
Friends in like Dexter, so you're gonna like go together.
Yeah. I just wonder how many
Vigilante.
Yeah. Oh no.
Taking people out.
Trinity said in a statement, the sentiments expressed in the video do not reflect the mission or values of Trinity School. It also called the circumstances surrounding the recording deeply disturbing and said it was troubled by the reprehensible way Ms. Norris and our school community were targeted. This is the second video put out by Project Veritas in 1 week. The first video appears to show a Connecticut school administrator discussing how he chooses which teachers to hire.
Subtle. They'll never say, oh, this is a liberal or a Democratic way of doing this. They'll just make that the norm. This is how we handle things. It's subtle.
And that's how you get away with it?
That's how you get away with it.
In the recordings, the administrator suggests he does not hire Catholics, conservatives, or anyone over the age of 30. He was placed on administrative leave last week and has not responded to our request for comment. William Tong, the Connecticut Attorney General, blasted the video itself. I think there's something really wrong with vigilante journalism, and I don't think it should be celebrated.
Now, the comments from that Connecticut Attorney General seem to nail this conundrum in one statement. People are upset about the unethical and crazy ways, the methods that they used to obtain this video and trap these people. But now that the messages are out and now that people are seeing what was said, officials and school officials are forced to confront it, Adrienne.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, there's two sides to this coin, right? How in the world could they get the video? But then when you hear somebody say it with their own words, it's hard to say that there's not an issue to be addressed. Rich, thank you very much. We want to take a closer look at this leak with Mario Balaban of Project Veritas. You handle media for the organization. I know we talked last week. Thanks for coming back. Your team had posted a different undercover video of an assistant principal in Connecticut, as Rich actually just showed us, saying he wouldn't hire anyone Catholic. But just like in every industry, there are always a few bad apples. So is the intention of these videos to show that this issue is more prevalent than believed?
Good morning. Thank you for having me on. Yeah, so this is the point of our journalism, really, is to expose things that people in power here, people in education want to keep hidden. And just a few days ago, after the second video came out, we're seeing teachers unions across the country sending emails and messages to teachers and even around, places that we're not even releasing videos just yet, telling them, hey, beware of Project Veritas. But if you're not doing anything wrong, if you're not saying anything wrong or acting inappropriately, why would you have to worry about Project Veritas? As you clearly see in these videos, they're saying things that, according to the schools themselves, are pretty troubling. One was put on administrative leave. That was Jeremy Boland from Connecticut. This individual was put on paid leave from Trinity School. So, of course, you have people attacking the methods of our journalism. But in the end of the day, they admit here that what they said was not appropriate.
A lot of these videos, obviously, you know, we have these two, but you've done videos prior to this. They show a small minority to some people. Like, this is a very small fraction of the people in education. So what do you say to people who believe that you're just stirring a pot by posting this kind of content?
I don't know how anyone could know if this is a small minority or not. The point of exposing people is to see exactly how many there are. It doesn't really, to us, it doesn't really matter if it's a small minority or majority. That's not what we're looking to prove here. We're looking to expose wrongdoing. It doesn't matter if it's just one person. One person can cause a lot of damage here if they are in charge of, you know, if they're in positions of power, assistant principals, director of student activities. These are people that oversee hundreds of students a year, right? So it doesn't really matter how many there are. It just matters that there's people committing wrongdoing and we're there to expose it. And the people deserve to know this information. That's the most important thing.
In this most recent video, the administrator, who is now on leave, says when it comes to her white male students, she said something to the effect of, someone like Dexter needs to take them out. Dexter is a character on a TV show. He's a vigilante serial killer. Did a student complain? Did another teacher complain? How in the world do you find a woman like this who would say something like this on camera?
Well, it is shocking. I did see that. You know, it's not that we've necessarily found a person saying such a thing. This person, we have very talented journalists who work at Project Veritas who are able to identify leads and progress from there. And this person clearly came to our attention. We noticed that, you know, there was potential radical beliefs there. And the fact that she does, you know, teach or run programs at a very elite school in New York, a lot of the students there are wealthy white males. So she has clearly an issue with a majority or a good amount of the students who go to her school. And I also want to let you know that we're not done just yet with our exposés on teachers and education. We actually have another video coming out today. So, you know, although there are efforts here from teachers unions and other organizations to stop the truth from coming out, I can say that there will be more coming.
Mario Balaban, thank you very much for joining us here on Morning in America. Obviously, there's some controversy surrounding the ways and methods, but again, you can't argue with that video. It's certainly concerning. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.